So it's getting hot and sweaty, and I go in there, and I go in for the move, and she looks me dead in the fucking eye. And you know what happens, Kev?
What?
I knock it over, and she screams Jenga. God damn it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to NameCast. My name is Nathan, and with me is...
Kevin.
Yeah, you're wearing black jeans today. Is that a thing you do often?
I'm wearing these jeans every day for 2 weeks now. You need a washing bad.
That's disgusting. You have?
Yeah, I love the fuck out of these jeans. They're so good.
How do you feel about the black jean? Because I usually wear the blue jean.
So
I keep it simple.
Yeah. I've always preferred darker colored jeans.
Okay.
When they're like really blue, I don't know, it just looks weird.
Yeah,
when they're like
Mario
a light
pants.
blue, they look like construction workers.
Okay,
jeans.
okay. I get you.
And I'm very much not that.
No
part of me looks like that.
No, not at all.
So yeah, I go with the dark jeans.
Okay.
Usually like a slim fit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Or yeah, slim regular, I think is what the Levi trim of it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I've been liking these. They're dark gray. They're not like completely black, but
they're pretty fucking black.
Yeah, they're pretty dark. And one thing I've been just digging with them is my really dark gray long sleeve shirt.
Okay.
Because
yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that. Yeah.
Because I wear like very nice brown leather boots.
Yep.
And a nice brown leather belt.
Yeah.
And just like how those play off each other, along with my pearly blue eyes.
Now, I'm not going to lie. This is fascinating. I've never thought you as someone who gives a shit about fashion.
So, like, I don't really care so much, but, like, I feel good when I look good.
Okay.
So, like, when it happens, I'm like, yeah.
yeah, today's going to be a good day.
Well, I've also been, like, down on my weight recently. Like,
yeah.
I'm at, like, a pretty good weight, like, just under 200, which is probably where I want to stay. I think 190 is technically better.
You still got a bit of a belly, Kev. I'm not gonna lie.
I do.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
a bit of this is bloat too, like
yeah.
just from what I've eaten recently. But
yeah.
No, I'm down to like a pretty decent weight that I'd like to float around. So yeah, I'm also feeling good that way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. So let's start off with the fun stuff. Well, we got a good show lined up. It's gonna be a little more free flowy this time.
Yeah.
We just finished recording a big thing.
I think.
We're in our living room right now. There's a green screen. There's a bunch of lights, a bunch of cameras.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool. Get excited. Get hyped. I hope you guys are really enjoying our 18 days of Titan Souls.
This new project will be our biggest production since Dark Souls 3.
I think.
Which hasn't even finished yet.
Yeah, honestly, I think as far as like the amount of stuff going on in it, I think it's bigger than Dark Souls 3.
Yes. Yeah.
It's more cameras, more lights, more mics.
Yeah.
Quicker
to record.
But
and
that being said,
videos,
it's definitely not a bigger production than our Drunktacular night. That will never see the light of day because it is too hot for YouTube. I'm saying it right now. It's too hot for YouTube.
Yeah. Far too much stuff that just can't go up for the respect of people involved.
A lot of stuff would happen. People's lives would change, Kevin. That video should never see the light of day.
Yeah.
So maybe sometime in 50 years, we'll release the old archived footage. So anyway, we got a good show lined up. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. Now, Kevin, what games have you been playing lately? Or housekeeping? What have you been playing?
Not much of anything.
Yeah.
Actually.
You pulled a me.
Yeah, I don't know. It felt like it's been a productive week, but most of the productivity has been like cleaning.
Yeah.
Which I mean is really good because like I hate having that stuff kind of like hanging over me. It makes me not do anything else.
Right.
So I've tackled that more. I've been wanting to play Stardew Valley a lot this week.
I feel like you've been picking away at it, haven't you?
I don't think I've played it since our last podcast.
Oh, really? Okay.
But yeah, I've been wanting to play it a lot because it's awesome.
Digging it
because it's a farming game.
Yeah, I was going for a joke. Awesome. So for the third time in a week, I didn't play any. Psych, I got you. I've been playing so many games, Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the games I've been playing. So if you didn't know, if you didn't listen to last week's episode, I was kind of taken out. I got a little concussion and a real sore butt, basically from an epic fall of ice climbing proportions. And anyway, so I was taken out, and I decided what better time than to play a shit ton of video games. So I started off with Tony Hawk Pro Skater HD, played the fuck out of that. I beat it. Nice. And like I remember as a kid thinking, I'm not too bad at Tony Hawk. I'm pretty good. My chops have never been better. I am like a honed in Tony Hawk playing machine right now, and I challenge any one of you out there. I will take you the fuck down in a game of horse, motherfucker. It will go down. No, it's sick. I don't know. Been having a lot of fun with that. Pro Skater HD. It came out in 2012. It's jank.
Yeah.
But it's not as jank as Pro Skater 5. So
fair enough.
Kind of good, and it has some of the classics, and it has pretty much, I think, the same music.
Yeah.
So you're rocking it there, listen to fucking Superman by Goldfinger. You know what I mean? It brings you right back, and you're still there in Hangar, and you're there in the warehouse, and it's got the best maps of 2 and 3 combined, or 2 and 1 combined, and it's good. It's a lot of fun.
So did you ever play any of the skate games?
I didn't like them as much.
Yeah.
They're more realistic. They were fun, but I never really got into them. Why? What's up?
Because I think there was an EA exec that recently tweeted something about Skate.
Yeah?
Yeah, like zero confirmation about anything.
Oh.
So yeah, it's interesting, and like
that's exciting.
Yeah, I saw that posted on Reddit, and everybody's like, "Yeah, Skate, do it."
Okay, it'd be a good time to see one. I mean, everyone was stoked on Pro Skater 5, and then it was a hot fucking turd. But
yeah,
it'd be nice to have another skateboarding game back in the.
It's been a long time.
It's been too long.
Because Pro Skater 5 doesn't really count.
No, it doesn't count. It was hot fucking trash. So then, other than that, I decided to pick something up that I've talked about in the podcast maybe a little bit. You maybe heard me talk about it a bit. Never really used it. PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, the value is fantastic. Literally, I paid $20 for a month, and I have access to over 450 games.
A lot of games.
And the quality is pretty good, and it's something you can even do on your PC. And I was thinking about it, like, if you had a player who, played Xbox all their life, and they pick up a PS4, they just pick it up on their PC, they have access to some of the best games that came out on PS3. I'm talking Last of Us, I'm talking all the Uncharted's, I'm talking fucking Journey, I'm talking Flower, I'm talking all those games, and you just get them. That's awesome.
That is awesome.
It's really cool. So I was like, obviously going to do this. So I ended up playing through Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus, like one of the only Ratchet games that I'd never played.
Nice. Because
it came out on PS3 after the PS4 launched, and I was like, I don't really feel like it. It's not a full Ratchet game. But it was good fun. It was kind of jank, but I beat that. Played my way through that, and then I just played a shit ton of other games. I was playing Twisted Metal that came out on the PS3.
Yeah.
I was playing, Injustice God is Among Us, which is fun as hell.
Nice.
Oh my god, it's so much fun.
I've heard a lot of good. I actually haven't played it,
real good. I've been playing Pac-Man Championship Edition DX.
Yeah.
Having a lot of fun with that. Kind of jank on the PS Plus. It's not perfect. Mm-hmm. It does have its flaws, and 90% of the time it works great.
Yeah.
No issues. But with something that's real fast, like a fighting game or like Pac-Man Championship Edition, you may not get the turns right. Like, you have to time your input before it happens, because what PlayStation Now is, it's really kind of cool. It's like the Netflix of video games, the best way I can describe it.
Yeah.
So the process, now correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I understand, the processing is not really being done on your unit. It's just sending that information out to a server, where that server is then doing the calculation based upon your input, and then sending that image back to your PlayStation, which is then displaying it on your TV.
Yeah.
Basically. So it's kind of cool, and the delay is like not as noticeable as you'd think.
Yeah.
Especially if you're going to play like an RPG or something like that, or anything of that category, you'd be totally fine. But with maybe a shooter, I think you could probably get away with a shooter. Maybe not something super twitchy, but you should be able to get away with it just fine. Arcade games, it depends. Pac-Man, you do need to make some tight turns sometimes.
Yeah.
And fighting games, if you're a good fighting game player, don't. You probably wouldn't even try.
Not be a good experience.
No, especially when you got to be frame perfect. But if you're just goofing around, playing some games, want to play some Bomberman or anything like that, like, you'll have a fun time.
Yeah.
You'll have a great time. Something else I also played a little bit of, Catherine, a game that's always intrigued me.
Yeah.
Weird as fuck.
Yeah.
So weird.
Never played it before, but I've watched a good amount about it, and yeah, it's an odd game. It's certainly interesting.
It's interesting. It's the best way I can describe it is like, it's a dating simulator, but your character goes to sleep. When he goes to sleep, he kind of turns into like a sheep-headed guy. Like, he's got like horns sticking out of his head. And it's like a block-pushing puzzle game where you have to climb up the staircase.
Yeah.
It's real weird.
Yeah, it is.
Real weird.
You got 2 Catherines?
Japan.
Yeah, basically.
That's all you can really say about that. But I've been having a lot of fun with that. I think a game I'm going to pick up soon to play a shit ton of is Ni no Kuni Wrath of the White Witch.
Ooh.
I'm talking about it for a while.
You'll have to play a shit ton because that's a long-ass game.
Is it long-ass?
Yeah.
Like how long?
40 hours plus.
That's a big game. See, the only other games I'm looking forward to on the horizon are probably Horizon.
Oh.
See what I did there? It's coming at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But you were saying a game coming at this month. We got the Halo Wars 2.
Halo Wars 2, they just dropped the launch trailer actually.
Yeah, dude.
Today. And yeah, so that's really exciting. It's coming out on PC, which like I absolutely love.
Yeah. You gonna pick it up day one?
Yes, as long as I'm free that Tuesday, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lives and stuff, but yeah, I'll definitely pick it up and play it, and yeah, we'll see how it is.
Nice.
I'm very excited for it. The story looks awesome. Focuses on brutes, which has been too long. It's been too long since I played Halo because Halo 5 was forever ago.
It was like a year ago.
Forever ago. So yeah.
You haven't been playing any Halo since then, have you?
No.
Maybe you can help me out with something. Who are the brutes? I have no idea.
So there's evil guys called the Covenant. It's a big coalition of a bunch of different alien races.
Yep. Gotcha.
Originally, there was the elites, which were the like the strong warrior leader guys.
Yep.
But then they started having a falling out inside the Covenant because political stuff. So they needed some other big strong warrior type people to take it over, and they found the brutes. So they're like big ape-like
Okay.
alien creatures, and they're scary and they're awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Scary, awesome, big alien creatures.
Yeah.
Pretty much all you need to
They
know.
use gravity hammers.
That's pretty epic.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's cool.
So now the Halo Wars games, they kind of they're real-time strategy. Is that what
Yeah.
this is?
An RTS.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really interested in like what changes they make from like the first one. I've seen very little bit of this game. I'm sure there's gameplay out there, but I've seen very little.
Are you
like,
trying to go in
see the
blind
changes.
or just?
Yes. Yeah, sort of blind.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. It's weird. I find like as I'm getting older, I'm getting less interested in finding out about how games work beforehand.
Right.
I mean, like part of that's just because there's so many damn sequels nowadays.
A lot
like,
of them.
You know, I'm not completely surprised.
Yeah.
By what comes out and like what will be in a game. But yeah, like I just find I like just figuring it all out on day one on my own. I think Dark Souls taught me that lesson a bit too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair. Something that's coming out on the horizon very soon. I didn't mean to use the word again, but Neo. The review just dropped today.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. I don't know if I'll play it, but it looks pretty good.
Yeah, apparently it's getting reviewed well. People are glad Team Ninja has a successful project again.
Yeah.
It's been a while since they put any games out.
They're the Ninja Gaiden guys, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, because this game had been in development for like 10 years.
Yeah, a long time. Like,
That's crazy.
yeah. What's their last game? Ninja Gaiden 3?
I think so.
And that was midway through the last generation.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, it's good to see another game from them. Again, I don't know if I'll play it. I don't know if I have time. It seems like a big time investment.
Yeah, definitely.
To
We'll
learn.
see if I'm
Yeah.
if I'm hurting for games, I will. But I still have like games backed up from the in my Steam library.
Yeah, we were going through your library the other day, and I
sales.
was like, wow, you have a lot on the backlog you got to play.
Yeah, I think Antichamber's pretty high up on there.
Okay.
But
But-
I don't know if you're gonna play this game, but I have a game to play for Cartridge Club.
Yes,
So
sir.
we mentioned these guys before, and we should throw a link down in the description so
We will.
our viewers can check.
We're
them
getting
out.
more involved this month.
They're really cool. So yeah, basically like they, as a group, kind of like a book club, they play a game each month. And February's game is Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door.
Now, if you remember our list of our top 100 games, this was real high on your list.
Yeah,
Real high.
So I think it was like 5th or 6th,
Yeah.
somewhere there.
This is one of your
so-
favorite games.
Yeah, it really is, and yeah, I'm excited to play it again because it's been a very, very long time.
Yep.
Last Paper Mario game I played was Super Paper Mario for the Wii, and I was thoroughly disappointed in it.
You didn't like that.
Well, I loved the combat in the
Okay.
Paper Mario games, and they got rid of that.
I really like Super Paper Mario. That's probably my favorite Paper Mario.
Yeah,
I'm the worst.
I did play through that entire game. Like,
Yeah.
It wasn't the worst, but yeah, I fucking loved the mechanics of
Okay.
the Paper Mario fighting. And
Yeah.
they got rid of that for Super Paper Mario.
I think my favorite part about Thousand Year Door is like the luchador wrestling ring or whatever.
Yeah.
That is so good.
So good.
That is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just fits the entire game and series so well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so awesome. There's a lot of like awesome moments. So yeah, I think I'm gonna play through that. Might do a little bit of recording. Might spam a bunch of videos onto the channel.
Spamming just out of order. Just like On any random day?
Well, I don't know. Like, it depends on how much I play, I think.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, just my amount of free time varies, like, a lot.
Yeah.
Because, I don't know.
Because of stuff.
Because of how I do my planning and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know. I think if I, like, just play, like, 15 hours in 1 week, then, yeah, sure, I'll put out a whole bunch of videos. But if I only play, like, 1 hour in a week, then I'll just put one video out that week or whatever.
Right, right. Yeah, we can do that. That can be done.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man, that's exciting. So with Cartridge Club, what are we doing with them? What's the sitch? I don't really know.
So yeah, right now we're just participating in it.
Participation people.
Yeah, so they bring people on to talk about the games that they played each month. So I think I'll make a point to the boys there that I really fucking love Thousand Year Door.
Yeah.
So see if I can chat to them about
You have
it.
a bit of podcast experience.
Well, just a little.
Also, just noticed today we put out our 200th video.
Yeah.
We're not gonna make a big deal about it, but yeah, that's a lot of
200.
videos.
Yeah.
It's a lot of crap, but some good stuff in there. Some nuggets of good.
Yeah. It's well over 100 namecasts.
Yeah, well over 100. Not Namecast in the form that it's in now, but the form it's in now is actually more similar to what it was like when we began Namecast.
I know, it was like full circle.
Yep. But I think we're much better at it now.
Yeah.
Not that we're good at it now, but we're better than we were then.
Learned a thing or two.
Yeah, it definitely reinforces the idea of when someone's like, oh, when should I start something like this? You know, when I get this PC or when I get this, fucking do it.
Yeah.
You're going to suck when you start. You're probably going to suck 200 videos later, but you'll suck less.
Yeah,
Trust
doesn't matter
me.
how bad your mic sounds.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be talking great.
No, not going to be talking that awesome. Cool, Kev.
Yeah.
That's exciting. There's a
Yeah.
lot of things going on.
I know.
A lot of things. It's
a busy February.
a busy February. What else is new,
Cool.
dude? What else you got on the go, man?
What else do I have on the go?
Yeah.
I feel like I have something, but I forgot it because you like prompted me to talk.
I know. I really threw it on you. See, I noticed something about you today too.
Yeah.
You're really good at Mario Kart.
I am.
We're not going to give away any results. I was very surprised.
So
How much Mario Kart have you played?
I played a lot.
Because
I
I've
fucking
only ever played
love
you
Mario
drunk.
Kart.
Because, okay, so you and I used to play Mario Kart together every once
Yeah.
in a while. And I don't remember you beating me that often in Mario Kart because I feel like I'm faster at drinking than you, maybe.
Yeah, I'm terrible at chugging,
Yeah, yeah.
which is not helpful in the case of Mario Kart.
Yeah, because if you don't know in Mario Kart, you know you have to be a responsible driver. You can't drink and drive.
Yeah.
So you have to, you know, either stop driving or drink when the race is done or drink at the beginning of the race. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I just can't chug that great, so that puts me in a big deficit.
Yeah.
But normally I could still win.
Yeah.
And stuff despite that. And I think that kind of pushed me to learning how to be super, super fast.
Right.
I'm also a big fan of racing games. And
Yeah.
Thankfully in Mario Kart, like holding a line on a turn, like that still works properly. Like you
Yeah.
want to go like outside, inside, outside.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of helps. And I've just played a shit ton of Mario Kart. Double Dash, like
That was your shit, eh?
I destroyed that game as a kid. Just like played it through completely multiple times, which is like such a weird thing to do with Mario Kart. Normally you unlock everything, it's fine.
Yeah, you beat it, you're done.
Yeah,
But
not for me.
Not Kev. Not Kev.
Yeah, played a stupid amount of Mario Kart Wii, mostly in the Mario Kart format.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 8, I've unlocked everything in it like twice now, due to
See, I didn't
Wii
know that beforehand.
situations. Yeah, so like I'm really really good.
Yeah.
What's really funny is mentioned friends of ours at Bonus Barrel. So Seiji,
Okay.
apparently he is like some sort of god of Mario Kart.
Really? I think we got to set something up.
I really
I
really
think
want to
we
play.
really
Him.
gotta
Like
set
I've heard
something
it
up.
so many times, and like I used to work with him too, and like
Yeah.
you know I heard it there and everything. Like yeah, I got to see like how do I compare?
I think we got to hype up a battle.
Yeah, we'll see if we can make it happen.
Would he be down for something like that?
Probably, maybe. See, the issue
Probably,
is
maybe.
the issue is he lives in Vancouver now.
How's net play? Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay.
Not
Okay.
bad.
We can do
I
that
don't know like how matching up with friends online and stuff kind of works, but
because Nintendo doesn't know how the internet works, but that's
yeah,
fine.
friend codes.
Yeah, for our friend code's still a thing on the
Speaking of
Wii U.
which, yes,
Oh my god.
yes, they are
Oh my
because
god.
Fire Emblem Heroes, I think it's called, dropped on phones just recently.
Okay.
Apparently, it's really awesome. I haven't played it yet.
Yep.
That's another thing on the list. But yeah, it was funny. I saw a post on Facebook from a friend of mine, and she was like, "I just got Fire Emblem Heroes. Add me. My friend code is boom string of
Oh
numbers."
my
People
god.
commenting, "Oh, sweet! I just got it too. I got some awesome first characters. Here's my friend code. Boom, string of numbers, and like just 5 comments. Or just all, here's my friend code.
What the fuck?
And it's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious and sad.
Why can't you just have a fucking username? Like, why is that so difficult?
I don't know.
Like, I mean, on PlayStation you can't even change your username, but still, at least you have one.
That's weird because, like, you know, Xbox, they just do the Blizzard strat. It's like $10, change your name.
It's, you know what? You don't know how much it pains me that you can't change your username. Not that mine is bad, but it's become such a joke in the PlayStation community where just like, Shuhei, just let us change our fucking name, man.
Yeah.
Just let us do it. One of the podcasts I listen to that I just love, P.S. I love you XOXO. Check it out. It's great. If you like what we do, you'll love what they do. Anyway, yeah, they have a segment of it called PSN Worst Name of the Week to commemorate how fucking terrible some of these names are. And these kids just want to change their names, Kev. Sony could be making so much money off of these name changes.
Yeah.
But it may never happen. Who knows? It's been teased forever.
Yeah.
Our poor hearts. Now, okay, you've been
Mystery.
talking about something today. You asked me something. You said, do you have any video game shirts?
Yeah.
I said, no, I don't collect things like that. Do you? I don't see you as much of a, I don't know. I think you're kind of a collector, but maybe not.
I kind of like collecting. We have a giant shelf of movies
Which
and
is awesome,
games,
actually.
and that's been shown in a couple of videos before, I believe. And yeah, I sort of like collecting. Shirts, on the other hand, I'm not a big fan of graphic tees. While you look at me wearing
There's no
one,
video right now, but I'm looking at your graphic tee currently.
with another one on my lap.
Yes.
I have like one other graphic tee though, and I only just got this one that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
But I have like 4 or 5 more on order from
AGDQ.
AGDQ. Yeah. So hopefully they come in this week, actually.
Nice.
Oh, maybe next week.
Hopefully we
don't
can
know.
put them in a couple more videos. That'd be good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like, kind of getting into it more. I think I'm like more willing to show my gamer pride now.
Yeah?
Half accepting it because, you know, been working in the industry for long enough.
Was it something you were a little embarrassed of back in the day, maybe?
Not really. I think like just so many of them looked really tacky. Even this like Mario shirt I have, like it's one
Yeah.
of the better ones I've seen that
Yeah.
you can get at like a store here, Old Navy. And yeah, so like that was a big reason I didn't like them that much. But tees that you can get online, like the AGDQ tees, are awesome.
There's some good ones, yeah.
Right now, I'm wearing a shirt that you'll see in our new series.
Whenever that comes out.
Yeah, and
After Titan Souls, probably.
yeah, hopefully.
It's going to be a lot of editing, but I don't know. We'll see. Yep.
Yeah. And yeah, like this is really stylish looking. It's awesome. It has like 2 pop culture references. One of them only nerds will get. One most people who like movies should get.
It's Pulp Fiction, but with Cowboy Bebop characters.
Yeah. So it's a good mix. And it also kind of annoys people. It would probably annoy people who only know Pulp Fiction.
It annoys me a little bit just looking at it right now. Like I don't know these characters, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
That's not Samuel L. motherfucking Jackson.
No, it's not.
I know.
But I think Cowboy Bebop's actually older.
Oh wait, are they both? Oh, that one guy's just holding his finger out. Yep. That's not even a gun.
Wow, that's an awesome reference, actually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is that something they do in the show, or?
Yeah, he does it in the show.
Oh,
A
that's
very,
funny.
very key moment.
That's funny.
But yeah, like, I don't know. It's a really awesome shirt. Looks nice, despite being a graphic tee. So I think that's what's made me come around on it, is actually being able
Okay.
to find nice graphic tees.
Yeah. Being exposed to that.
Yeah.
I'm not. And it's not because, I mean, I would probably describe myself as not a closet nerd, but like, I mean, I don't proclaim it from the mountaintops, right? But if
Yeah.
someone starts to bring up something nerdy, I hop on it and then talk about it heavily and then start breathing real heavy. And they're like, I'm going to go away now. And I'm like, but you don't know. I mean, Dark Souls, it's so good. I just love the lore. And they're like, you're real weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
my name's Nathan. Nice to meet you. I'm weird. But yeah, I don't know, man. I've never been much of a collector. This is something I kind of realized about myself like a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't think I'll ever buy anything just for fashion, just because I don't give
Yeah.
a shit. I really don't care. I could wear a bag and I'd be happy.
Well, you and I talked about V-necks the other day.
Yeah.
This is the other part of about graphic tees for me.
Okay.
Is I significantly prefer the V-neck
I like the V-neck.
Both in
I have no
looks
problem with it.
and in comfort.
It's more
Because
functional.
having the freeness in like right in front of your Adam's apple. Like,
Yeah.
that's nice. Like, I don't like the regular circle neck tees like that choke you and stuff.
Yeah,
'cause, like,
not good.
I do have like a shirt or two like that,
And you know
I never
what-
wear them. Because
You know
of it.
what's terrible for that though? I'm calling them out, Gildan. They
Yeah,
make
terrible
like
shirts.
choking fucking. They'll just rip your head off. Your
Yeah.
head will pop off. Like someone's head will pop off. Be like, oh, another Gildan Gotham.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. Like, whenever I hear about like people doing like mass prints of tees and stuff, I'm like, what company are they using? What company? And like half the time it's Gildan, and I'm just like, fuck, I don't want this.
I'm not gonna buy this because
Yeah.
it's gonna be trash.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
pretty
sorry.
bad.
What were you saying?
But yeah, like there's pretty much no graphic tees with a V-neck.
yeah.
They're always like the regular crew neck, and that's
Less of a
annoying. Yeah,
Because the one that you have on right now, it's a crew neck as well.
yeah, it's loose enough for me.
Okay.
Any tighter, and I think I wouldn't like it. But
Yeah.
just hoping it doesn't shrink much.
See, I did something the other day. Because if you know out there, I'm graduating, fucking finally, debt free though, which is good. But anyway, and they had me put on the get up they get you to put on, and that little neck thing they put you on. It's not even a real shirt.
Yeah.
I thought my head was gonna pop off. It is so tight. It is so tight.
It's an uncomfortable gown.
Oh, I had the biggest one they had on, and I don't have a very big neck. At least I don't think I do. And I had trouble breathing in that thing.
Yeah, have fun wearing it in an auditorium for multiple hours.
You have to wear the
Surrounded
little
by a
mini
bunch of
shirt
people.
thing.
I think so.
Like it's not even a full shirt. You know what I'm talking about? It's just like a collar, and it like covers up to your shoulders, like your bust, basically. is
Yeah,
what
it
covers.
shows like the break in the gown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have to wear that.
yeah, you have to wear that for
See, my thing
like
is,
3 hours.
I
in a
don't
hot
even
auditorium.
want to go to graduation because like,
Gymnasium.
who
in
gives
fact.
a shit? Like, did you enjoy yours? Did you really enjoy that experience?
I'm glad I went.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, you said the opposite of the
I don't
answer
know
I
if I
hoped
can
you said.
quantify why.
Yeah.
but
Okay.
I don't know. I'm glad I went. I think most of it's just because like how much work I put in, like especially like how my workload in university was. Is it peaked at the very very end,
Yeah.
and then it just fell off.
Yeah.
Once I graduated and didn't have any work left to do. So I think the having the graduation ceremony was really nice for me
Okay.
just to like really signify the end of that hard work and like, get something.
Right. See, my arc has been different. Mine was like, I'm going to go to school a bunch. Oh, I'm going to drink a bunch. Okay, but I still got to finish school. Yeah, let's just take it slow. And now I'm like, I haven't been on campus. Aside from taking grad pictures, I haven't been on campus in 2 years. I'm just taking online courses, picking away at them before I leave the country. That's pretty much, that's it, just so I can get the degree and peace out. But yeah, so I don't know. Maybe it's a different arc, but I'm excited to finally be done.
Yep.
To move on, do other things.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it is.
It's good.
It is
I got
good.
nothing to talk about, man.
No.
Do you have anything to talk about?
Well, I assumed we were going to do another developer profile.
Oh, shit. We are. What are we going to talk about today, Kev?
Let's talk programmers. Because that would be my next most familiar one.
Yep.
Because that's really what I went to school for, not design. In fact.
You're a programmer. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you're
I'm a computer scientist.
yes, sir.
I have a piece of paper that says I'm a scientist. It's awesome.
Isn't that weird?
I have a Bachelor of Science.
We're gonna graduate with the same bachelor. That's funny.
Yeah.
Such different skills too.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, so programmers. Obviously they code the games. That's what they do. They go by a bunch of names. Engineers, coders, programmers, developers. That's the most annoying part.
Yep.
Interesting story, actually. This is a little side tangent. That's the word I'm looking for.
Tangent.
Little tangent. The title of engineer is actually protected in the country of Canada.
What?
So in order to become a software engineer, you need to be credited, I think is the word for it, by the Engineering Institute of Canada. I don't know if that's their actual name, but it's something like that.
They have something like that, and you have to pay like union fees
Yes.
every year, like a pretty good amount
Yes.
to get included in there. That's funny.
So there's pretty much no software engineers in Canada and pretty much no software engineering jobs in Canada. They go by other names to skirt around it.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it's a super common term everywhere else. But yeah, Canada has
In
a
Canada, no dice.
little weird thing about it. Yep. So yeah, I'll say programmers. I think it's the most common term. Coder tends to be associated with Code Monkey.
What's a code monkey? Is that offensive?
Yeah, like somebody who just does the easy stuff. It tends to be like contract work. Yeah, weird stuff.
Okay.
Anyways, so the programmer, their job is mostly going through the design of the game and actually making systems that will allow the game to do that. So how they go about doing that can be really, really different. I think what's most common nowadays, just with the skill level that pretty much most companies are at, is that these programmers are more so making tools that allow the artists to put their art directly in the game, that allow the designers to create the levels and everything that they want in the game, as well as creating systems. Like they do control like player interaction in that way, and that they need to create the systems that allow that player interaction.
Right.
But a good programmer will create that system in a way that it is very, very open to the designer, so the designer can go in and tweak a bunch of values and get the system feeling exactly the way they want.
Right.
And you know, that line can actually blur a good bit. There is a specialization of programmer called a gameplay programmer, who is mostly programmer, but a good bit designer in them as well.
Okay.
And they will implement the gameplay systems, specifically like anything that the player kind of feels. So that way, they're like, you have somebody who's skilled at making something that feels good to the player.
Right.
Actually doing that stuff, and kind of frees up a designer to do other things. And it's just easier to do that at the time of programming, right? Instead of making a system that allows all these tweakable values and stuff, just kind of come up with a system that feels good.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the crossover between programmer and designer in that position. I would say programmer is probably one of the most straightforward positions.
Seems like it.
Because what they do is very, very generic. It's highly skilled work. It's really complicated. But what they do is very, very generic. Which is good because they can do like pretty much anything. It's kind of funny, like, you know, conversations that will kind of happen around work is like, you know, we'll be talking about ideas. It's like, oh, can we do this thing? And then like the programmer response is, yeah, give me enough time and money and we can do anything.
Yeah,
because
right.
that's how programming works. Like it's just that open that you can do absolutely anything in it. So I think that's why a lot of people really flock to it, is because it's really like making something out of nothing.
Yeah.
That's definitely where my interest in programming came from. It's like this great tool for making things,
Right.
which is what I like doing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you yourself are a tool, so it's fitting that you want
to use a tool.
A tool with a tool. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Go on. Had to get a joke in there.
Yeah, fair enough. So yeah, that is the programmer. I guess talk about like how they do their work, because that's definitely something that changes. That is more like specific to the game industry.
Okay.
So pretty much all games written in C++.
Yeah.
Other languages are becoming more popular and stuff, but for the most part, they're all relying on C++ some way, somehow.
Yeah.
That includes like Unity and engines and stuff like that. A lot of them kind of have C++ backends. I think web games are the only thing that you don't really see that.
Oh,
so
really?
much.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do they use? Java? Or?
Yeah, JavaScript and HTML5. So yeah, C++ is the thing, but because of Unity, it is actually becoming more popular that there are programmer positions that you only need C# for.
Yeah.
As well as the other thing is like something that I haven't really touched on yet is indie programmers.
Okay.
Yeah, they can get by with just C#.
Yeah.
Completely fine.
Yeah, which is kind of weird.
Because of Unity, and yeah, that's really, really good for them. However, C++, like, it's kind of known for being a difficult language. And one thing that's been very, very common for a long time is creating a scripting language. So either that's something that a technical designer would be using, or programmers are using to quickly implement game systems. just by using a simpler language. A big one for that has been Lua.
Okay.
That's been kind of the standard. I don't think it's being used as much, but that's also kind of like that scripting language thing is also the C# portion of Unity.
Okay.
Is what that is. It's just a scripting language implementation. Theirs is very, very in depth. You can do pretty much anything into the game in that scripting language.
Right.
But yeah, that's how they made that work. And a few other languages I've heard of being used are like Python, JavaScript for sure. And it's super, super common that like companies will do their own custom language type thing because those are surprisingly not that difficult to make. And if you can make it very specific to the task that you need for the game that you're making, then that's a benefit as well.
Okay.
So yeah, those are the languages. As far as development stuff, if you're making anything for Apple devices, you pretty much need to use Xcode because Apple just has a developer thing. They have a word for it. Very enclosed environment for developers.
Okay.
And Xcode is really nice. It's probably like my second favorite IDE that I've used. I forget what IDE stands for, but it's programming environment.
Right.
So yeah, it's a good system. But yeah, for all that stuff, you need to use Xcode. But for pretty much everything, Visual Studio wins out.
Yeah,
So that's
what I used to.
Microsoft's
Yeah.
developer environment. And yeah, it's just so good. Like it's so hard to justify using
It's
anything
good.
else. Yeah.
It's real good.
Yeah. So yeah, that's. I think that's pretty much the software and stuff. Generally, like programmers' day to day is they will be given tasks. Probably people above them, kind of breaking out what needs to be done and like sending those down. If they're kind of more lead, then they'll be figuring out how tasks break down, sending those down to lower level programmers and stuff. So yeah, what's kind of nice about doing programming in that way is you pretty much always have work to do, and what you're actually doing varies a good amount because it's just what piece of what needs to be done right now.
Right.
So it tends to keep you like bouncing around, keeps things fresh and stuff like that, despite it seeming like it could very easily fall into a kind of a mind-numbing kind of same thing job.
Right.
It really just doesn't, just because what you're doing switches around so much. Yeah, I guess now I'll talk about the dirty side of it.
Dirt.
What if you want to become a programmer?
Bum bum bum. What
It
do you do?
is notorious for being difficult,
Yeah.
and it's kind of deserved. It can be really difficult for some people. It can be really easy for some people. And what that comes down to is basically just how you think about things.
Yeah.
If your brain just meshes, like how you think about things meshes well with how a computer's logic works, then things will just make more sense to you.
Right.
You'll run into less confused situations because generally, like when you have a problem come up, like when you're trying to program, it's because you're just not thinking of what you're doing correctly
Right.
in the way that you should be. And there is most definitely a skill there in kind of like learning how you need to think about things and like how to break things down.
Yeah.
So in order to like overcome that or to tell like if you do think that way or not, like the only way to do it is by practicing programming.
Yeah.
And it's really one of those things. I think I shouldn't even say one of those things. Pretty much everything is like this. If you want to get good at something, practice.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
Programming is just like art. If you want to become good, you have to do it a lot.
Yeah.
Do it often. Think about it a bunch. Learn all that kind of stuff. But yeah, in general, like the other dirty dark side of it is math is a big deal. I think you've come to realize this in your little bit of development.
A little bit.
Games run on math. Computers run on math. Discrete mathematics specifically. So that's the true false kind of thing. The yes no based mathematics. And yeah, the computers at a very base level work at that. Games just take that up a notch.
Yep.
Pretty much everything in a game is represented by a matrix.
Mm.
So then you're getting into linear algebra. If you want to like move something in a direction, you know, that direction is going to be represented by a vector.
Yep.
Very similar to the physics vector. And yeah, so there's a lot of math that like goes into it, and that part sucks. Like it's not fun. There's very few people who really enjoy that math, but having to do it any other way would be so much worse.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, you know, people run into like doing the stuff this way, and it's like, well, why can't I just kind of do it more like how Game Maker does, like move the character 5 on the X, move them 5 on the Y,
Right.
and doing it like that, and it's like, do you really want to type it out like that every single time? What
Yeah.
about if you want to make them move twice as fast? Then move 5 on the Y times 2, move 5 on the X times 2,
Yeah.
right? Like every time you have to make a change, then, you know, that multiplies how much you need to do, which, you know, it becomes really, really cumbersome to do it much of any other way.
Mm.
There's also a few other things. There's a few like mathematical problems that like just come up. For example, people are usually used to representing the rotation of something.
Yep.
By its degrees. So say it's rotated like 20 degrees on the yaw, 50 degrees
Right.
roll, and that kind of stuff, and pitch. And there's a problem with that system, actually.
Oh, yeah?
A mathematical problem called gimbal lock.
I've never heard of this, actually.
With those numbers, you cannot tell the difference between something pointed straight up and pointed straight down.
Fair enough. Yep.
Sort of. You get to define your own up and down, but
Right.
there's always some orientation that you can't tell the difference between.
Yeah.
With those numbers. So there's a couple other different representations. The one that is by far the easiest for computers to use is fucking nightmarish for humans. It's called quaternions.
Oh, yes, I know these. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've used these. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really have to understand them to use them, thankfully.
Yeah.
Like normally, unless you're writing your own game engine, which you're probably not doing, or your own maths part of the game engine.
Yeah.
But normally, like you go in and out of the yaw and degrees and yaw pitch roll.
Yeah.
And degrees and stuff, and move and like just have the computer translate that into quaternions for you and translate out, so
Right.
that you can work with it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, it's really, really nightmarish. But you know, if you're a programmer, especially focusing on programming, you kind of have to deal with that stuff on a more intimate level than would be nice.
Yeah. Right.
So that's the real tricky part of programming is there's some very complicated things that you just have to push through. You just have to climb over that hill.
Right.
And yeah, that's what makes the dropout rate from computer science tend to hover between 50 and 75%.
It's pretty high.
Yeah, it's high. But there's so many good learning resources. There's so many good steps to take.
There's so many tutorials. Holy shit.
So
there's a
many
lot of
tutorials. If you're not familiar with the logic at all, Game Maker's drag and drop, really
Pretty good.
to
Pretty
start
good.
learning. Kind of
Yeah.
like you do one step, then one step, then one step. Like understanding that is very important. Another thing that's really, really good is the Unreal Engine 4's blueprints,
They're great.
because that takes a step from Game Maker and starts showing, okay, the result of this is going to flow into this thing, which
Yeah.
is going to flow into this thing, and like, okay, then we can decide to do this or this, and then we'll branch out, and this will flow here, this will flow that way, and yeah, so that's a really good next step. And then after that, like, yeah, there's so many good tutorials. Unity has a lot of really good tutorials for learning stuff.
Yeah, it does.
There's a few good books out there. I haven't read any myself, so I can't give any personal recommendations. But yeah, I'm sure they're easy to find. I'm sure there's lists of what the best books are
Right.
as well. Learning programming through doing games has its positives and its negatives.
Yeah.
There's The positives is you're actually making something that you probably like immediately.
Yep.
So it's a lot more motivating that way. One of the negatives is that you're working with a lot of other code, a lot of complicated code that you won't understand.
That
And
is
there's-
totally true.
Yeah,
Because
there's
I learned through making games that it's like, oh shit.
yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you just like have to accept and just go with it until
Yeah.
you can understand later. And that's not as nice. Whereas like if you just start with like really simple JavaScript program.
Yeah, because there was a lot of times where you're just in my room and I'm like, but why does it happen this way? You're like, Nathan, it just does. You're just going to have to accept that right now and move on.
Yeah.
I'm like, but why?
Then I explain it and it's just like whoosh,
Yeah,
right
pretty
over your
much.
head.
Pretty much because I don't have that base of knowledge to pull from. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the problem with learning games as opposed to regular programming.
Yeah.
Where you can make really simple things. The computer science course I went to taught through Java. You just make simple Java programs.
Okay.
Stuff like
Is that pretty much all they use at UBI?
No, they use C++ and
Okay.
other things as well. C.
Right.
Yeah. Once you get into later years, you're probably going to use languages that are more suited to what you're doing.
Yeah.
For example, the systems programming I did, which is kind of like low-level operating system type stuff.
Right.
Not completely operating system, but more interfacing with the operating system. That type of stuff was C.
Okay.
So yeah, very,
And-
very basic.
You took the Game Boy course.
I
too,
took a
right?
Game Boy Advance programming course,
That's so awesome.
which is really cool. And that was mostly C. There's a little bit of assembly
Okay.
in that as well for
Yeah.
the Game Boy Advances. I forget if it had an ARM processor. I
Okay.
don't think it did. I think it had something way older.
Awesome.
It's pretty much the same processor as the Super Nintendo, actually.
Really?
So
I
yeah,
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Huh.
I did programming that was very, very similar to something that like I played games on when I could barely talk.
That's crazy.
Like
That's awesome. That's
yeah,
so
it was really cool going that far back, and yeah, it's a really different style of doing things, and you know that's really why there's all those different languages. It's because they suit different styles. They're better for different things. There is no perfect language.
Right.
Like C++ is the closest we've got, and the perfectness of that is only because it's so extendable.
Right. Yeah.
Scales up so well. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I have to say about programmers, unless you have any other questions.
I don't
that
have any
didn't
other
address.
questions about programmers, but if you're cool to move on, I just remembered something.
Yes.
Now, in our last video, we talked about Trump quite a bit,
Yeah.
and we got Refugee in the comments, and he kind of he disagreed with us a little bit, which
Yeah.
at first I was like, oh my gosh, and I got all backed up, and I was like, uh-oh, someone has a different opinion than me. And I was like, wait, what the fuck am I doing? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If I have that approach, I'm just going to have I'm just going to be part of the problem that I don't
Yeah.
like of people being like, uh-oh, someone else feels a different way about something than me. Get upset, triggered.
Or put yourself in the echo chamber.
Yeah, exactly. Put myself in the echo chamber so I feel good about it. Yeah, I think he's got some fair points.
Yeah.
It's interesting. What do you have to say about all this? Now that the shakedown has happened a little bit more, I do think what Trump is doing is ultimately it's unprecedented.
Yes.
It hasn't happened at this level before.
I think
This many fucking executive orders is crazy.
the big part with me is like I don't morally agree with it.
Yeah.
Like you should follow due process. And I know like, you know, he is framing it in the way of, you know, it's just temporary while we do figure out the proper way, but
Right.
there's people being harmed because of that.
And I don't know. The ultimate thing to me that just gets me so upset, I mean, we've been joking around it in the house a lot, is I feel like there's going to be a presidency of alternative facts.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know if I can believe a lot of what the White House says at this point.
Can't believe a word of it.
And like, that's not just me being like, oh, you can't believe anything they say, but like, literally, like they have been caught in a lot of lies at this point of stupid things. Like, how
Yeah.
many people were at the inauguration?
Yeah.
Oh, there was this number, the most ever. Well, no, there
Not even
are
close.
so many stats that just say that is not accurate.
There's visual evidence.
There's visual
that is a
evidence,
lie.
and there's I don't know. It's just like, why would you lie about that? That's such a weird thing to lie about.
It is. Yeah.
That's, who gives a shit? Like,
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's such a weird. Forget the word I'm looking for. The group of people running the White House. Administration, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just weird how they're running things.
Mm.
And yeah, I hope they kind of like just backpedal a little bit and just be like, okay, we should do this the proper way, because now they're running into issues with the courts being like, nope.
Yeah, like what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, if the Supreme Court like overrules it, then it's just not ever happening.
Yeah.
Basically, because then they can't pass the bill that says the same thing. So yeah, it's kind of funny. I hope it gets better.
And that's not implying that it's the most terrible thing ever, but it's I don't know, it's a little unfortunate that that's what's occurring, that people just aren't allowed into the country.
Yeah.
Especially even people who literally worked with the military as translators.
Yeah, who have like proper visas and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
and they're not allowed in the country.
Yeah.
Though it had been cleared up that people with green cards are allowed in the country, which, should make sense. They're a citizen essentially at this point. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just can't like stand and say it's fine. Like I have to get upset.
Yeah.
I have to get upset at it because like it's not fine.
Yeah, no.
Like obviously it's not the worst that could ever happen, but it's still not good.
I was upset by it, and I was like, "What can I do about this?" So I ended up emailing my my MP. I've yet to hear anything back from him, but I was like, "At least I'm doing something."
Hopefully he's a busy guy.
But switching off from this, yeah, Sean is a busy fella. But switching off from this, I want to talk about. Let's not talk about American politics right now.
Yeah.
Something's got me fired up in Canadian politics.
Canadian.
I hope it has you fired up a little bit too. So a big part of Justin Trudeau's platform for getting elected was running on the principle of electoral reform.
Yeah.
Now, what he was proposing was switching to something like a proportional representation system or something like that. But currently in Canada, we have first past the post. Now, Kevin, do you want to explain first past the post a little bit?
First past the post is basically majority wins.
Yes, that's pretty much it.
Immediately. Yeah.
Ultimately, it shakes down for the most part to a two-party system.
Yeah.
And that's all we have. So in Canada right now, the only parties that really have a chance of winning are the Conservatives or the Liberals.
Yeah.
That's it. Whereas there are two other big parties, which are the Green Party, which a little more maybe in 100 years.
I know what you're saying next, and the French are going to get mad at you.
Oh, the Bloc is not a fucking party. Come on.
They hold seats.
There's the Bloc Québécois, but it's not going to happen. That's literally the Quebec party.
They'll never win. But
no.
Yeah, they'll always hold seats.
One party that I think if Jack Layton was still alive, I think he would have done a lot better this most recent election.
Yeah.
Was the NDP party.
Yeah.
Tom Mulcair is just he's a turd when it comes to talking. He's not great at it.
Doesn't help for a leader.
He's not a very charismatic individual.
Yeah.
Some of his points are valid, sure, but if ultimately with our democracy, if you can't entertain a crowd, people probably aren't going to like you very much.
Yeah.
Which is kind of it's fucked up. It's weird, but it's a lot what a lot of it comes down to.
Yeah, it's just been moving that way for a long time.
Like our current prime minister, some people may not agree with his policies, but he has a winning fucking smile. That's
great hair. Great hair.
Great hair. Exactly. Exactly. So he ran on a big promise of electoral reform.
Yeah.
And now he's finally announced, even after saying throughout the years, even back in December, he had said, people tend to give up on things like this, but I want to push ahead and really want to make something happen. And now, no.
Yeah.
He gave up.
Yeah.
He's like, and I mean, it's anecdotal. I don't think he actually said this. I mean, he said this in passing once, I think. But it was like, well, I kind of had that there so that we could get Harper out of power, But now that we're in power, it's all cool. But at the same time, what the fuck?
There was an interview done with him in October of 2016.
Yeah.
Where he said it's very important to him, and he doesn't want to just give up on it because it's difficult.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was December, but it was October. Yeah.
October.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so funny that he said that, and then that was pretty much the press release.
I kind of want to do an
week or two ago,
a bit of research on it and just do a video on it. Probably not on this channel because we're a gaming channel. Not that many people really care about Canadian politics. I mean, we can toss it in the odd NameCast, but to do a whole video on it, I don't think that'd be the right way to go about it. But I would just like to actually do an in-depth video on what would actually be required to be done to make that happen, because I imagine it's a pretty monumental task, I would think.
Yeah, pretty much all the proportional systems are more expensive.
Yeah.
to run.
Yeah, because they usually require more leaders.
Of course, isn't nice. Yeah.
More representatives, I should say. Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. I also want to call something out. Preferential voting is just as bad as first past the post. They have preferential voting in Australia.
Yep.
And it seems nicer, but truth of the matter is, it still shakes down to a two-party system.
Yep.
And, it's nice that you can see that there is some amount of people voted for, minority parties as their first pick, but they still don't end up getting seats.
Yeah, what seems most appealing to me, at least when we had our plebiscite in our province of PEI, was probably either MMP or DMP, which is a mixed member proportional representation or dual member representation. So they pick two, or you can vote for one of your riding and one of the actual party.
Yeah,
and there's representative of that party also as well, which I thought was interesting. Also going to call this out as well. I mean, I guess it's just our premier following our premier following suit with our prime minister. But we did have a plebiscite on our electoral reform, and people voted largely in favor of going for a proportional representation system. And he said that it wasn't. Well, what did he say? It was something ridiculous to the extent of not enough people voted for it to be really significant. But we should note that. About as many people voted for him to become premier.
Yeah.
So, what are you saying there, bud? Because that's a slippery slope to get on.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's pretty silly. Just excuses not to change, and
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's honestly, when it comes down to it, I think it's old people stuck in their old people ways, and it will change in the future.
Well, to be fair though, we did have a plebiscite on electoral reform back in like 2005, I think it was.
Yep.
In PEI, and people voted against it then. They voted for it this time.
Yeah, that wasn't even actually a plebiscite. That was on the voting card.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. It was like an actual reform.
Yeah.
And they voted against it.
Yeah. Old people. Scared.
Yeah.
Scared old people. So do you think we're ever going to be able to get that? Do you think it's enough for you to think to yourself, next couple of years when we have another election, if we're still in the country, of like, I'm not going to vote for Justin Trudeau?
Yeah, quite possibly. We'll see how the NDP party shakes up.
Yeah.
I'm really not going to vote Conservative, especially if it's Kevin O'Leary running it.
That's a whole farce in itself, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Canada's own Trump. Never near as bad, but anyways. That's what I can actually
saying
read.
He's not near as bad? I mean, I imagine it was a bit of a persona on the show, but he was on a show called Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
It's very popular in Canada. It's basically entrepreneurs show up to these very wealthy businessmen.
Yeah,
and
there's similar shows elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's based off of the British show Dragon's Den, right?
Yep.
I believe so. And and then they try and get people to invest in their products. And he was kind of known as like the Simon Cowell of that show is the best way I can describe him. He was a bit of a dick.
Yeah, the dick.
the dick. So
it was hard on people, but
yeah, currently he's running for leadership of the Conservative Party. I hope he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He seems real hard-headed on some issues, and just I don't think he's really what this country needs.
Be very business-minded, which is not a good thing.
No, to a certain extent, but I don't know. Running a country like a business is just
that's what people do now.
Yeah.
How things work.
That's how things work, Kev.
Yeah. I think the proportional representation is an important thing to me. So if somebody runs on the basis of it, then one, I really want them to follow through it, and two, support them.
But it's like, what can we do now to try and make this happen? Other than just send angry letters and march in the streets.
Angry letters. Marches.
That's
we haven't done any marches yet. Canada's not a very protesty country.
There was actually a march, not on this, but on for Syrians.
Yep.
Yeah. I wasn't able to go to that. I was working. Yeah, Muslims. Yeah.
Here. Well, yeah,
did you go to it?
No, I didn't go to it.
No.
I was home doing not much of anything. I'm an asshole. But it's good. I think we're kind of getting into that kind of stuff more. There's like a women's march. There's always been, or not
there
always,
were a lot of people at the women's
long
march.
time. Yeah, there was.
Yeah.
And for a long time, there's been gay pride parades. here as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, that's a big one.
Which is good. So I think it's funny because we're definitely seen as a pretty conservative province because it's very much an old people place.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're pretty liberal in our views and like to say it, but yeah, as a whole, Canada's not a protesty country like others.
Canada as a country, we're very liberal.
Yeah.
Leaning. Like we're a pretty liberal fucking country.
Yeah.
Like, you know, everyone in the States were like, oh, we have gay marriage. And we're like, we've had it 10 years ago, dude. Like, I don't know what to tell you, but like, I don't know.
Long time.
Yeah. Oh, we have we have medical marijuana. Man, we've had that for years. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't know. So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The politics of Canada. Fascinating stuff.
Everything you need to know, just watch Rick's rants.
Yeah. What? Oh, definitely. If you
Rick
haven't
Mercer
seen,
report.
Rick Mercer report. Yeah. If you haven't seen his rants, they're fantastic.
Yeah.
Real good. You know, something I like about Rick Mercer is how he really got his start. I mean, he was with This Hour's 22 Minutes, but his big thing that really pushed him away was talking to Americans. Do you remember this series?
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was good. He would literally like drive over with his one other camera guy, and they would go interview people in America about the stupidest things. Like, and they would just tell them blatant lies about Canada, and they'd be like, yeah, well, that sounds totally reasonable. Like, what was one? Okay, so there's a very popular news reporter called Peter Mansbridge. And they're like, so there's this bridge, and it's called the Mans Bridge, the Peter Mans Bridge. Now, but it's kind of unsafe. Now, would you get on Peter Mans Bridge? Well, yes. I mean, it's a big part of Canada's history, and I really think getting on Peter Mans Bridge is really good. Oh, so you would get on Peter Mans Bridge, and you know what I mean? It's just like ridiculous things like that. Like, and I remember he was doing an interview about it once, and he was like, I'm surprised no one ever punched me right in the mouth. You know what I mean? Just some of this stuff he would say
That's
to
fair.
people. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. Like, I don't know, I just like him as a person because, like, he isn't. He's very centered. He's not very like left or right leaning.
Yeah.
And the other the interesting thing too, like not that this should be a big deal, but he's actually gay, as well.
Yeah. And he's from Newfoundland. Don't hold that against him. But
no, that's worth holding against him. That's
fair enough.
It's his least likable trait. But he's it's weird. He's definitely a very kind of unique perspective, but like doesn't fall into stereotypes like you would expect.
No.
Like when you compare to like Colbert.
Yeah.
Like Colbert is very liberal leaning. Well, at least compared to the things around him.
Yeah.
It's not the case for Rick Mercer. Like Rick Mercer is very much in support of the oil pipelines, which is very much a right-leaning thing.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, like, if you were to talk to him as a person, he probably has pretty liberal-leaning philosophies, but it doesn't show as much on a show anymore. But that being said, I haven't seen the show in probably 10 years. I just watch Rick rants online.
Yeah.
At this point, because I don't watch TV anymore. I don't really tune into the CBC, the Canadian broadcasting, because in Canada we only really have two channels. We have the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting, and CTV, Canadian Television. Yeah. That's pretty much it.
What about Global?
Yeah, what is Global?
I think it's Canadian.
Is
Despite
it?
its name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you grow up with two fucking channels? TFC? I did.
Up
until I was like 14.
Had it for a good while, but we got cable pretty early on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And you had two fucking channels, but you were able to get Global sometimes.
Yeah.
If you like held the antennas just right.
Well, it was kind of funny because CBC and CTV were like 3 and 4.
Yep.
And Global was 6.
Okay.
So you had to skip over 5 to check to see if Global was there. That's weird.
Ours was like, I don't remember, but I think CBC was 11. Global was like in the 40s.
Oh, really?
And was it CTV was 11 and CBC was 3? It was something weird like that.
Yeah. That was really weird.
Yeah. And then the classic that we'll leave you with is Coronation Street on the CBC. Oh my God.
On all the fucking time.
All the fucking time. You hear that horn playing, just brr, 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 brr.
Canada's favorite British show.
It sucks. Don't
so
watch
bad.
it. It's awful. Okay, guys. I think that is our time for today.
Yeah.
You have been lovely. I have been Nathan. I will catch you guys next time. Nathan out. I did the Titan Souls outro. Woo! Okay.